All right, and we're live.
Welcome everyone. My name is Natalie Cartwright, and this is the information session for the Education Abroad Fair for College of Business programs that are a semester long. We are going to get started with the CSU land acknowledgement. Colorado State University acknowledges with respect that the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples. This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other native tribes. We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. CSU is founded as a land-grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion. And significantly, that our funding came at a dire cost to Native nations and peoples whose land this university was built upon. This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment. So today I will be presenting for you. Some of you might know who I am, but my name is Natalie Cartwright. I use the pronouns she, her, hers, and I am the Global Opportunities Coordinator here in the College of Business at CSU. What that means is I primarily work with college business majors, minors, as well as students that might be part of the exploratory studies here at CSU that have a business interest. And my main goal is the curriculum integration piece of your education abroad experience to keep you on track for graduation. I also have a second role in the college as an academic advisor, and I work with senior students, and this lets me really keep up to date with all of the academic changes and everything so that I can make sure that you are staying on track for graduation and you won't miss any of the courses that you need. So it's wonderful to have you here today. We're going to talk about some stuff surrounding study abroad for business students, and then highlight 5 different programs on the semester length. These aren't going to be the only programs available to you, but this will hopefully kind of give you an idea of the different variety of programs that exist for our students here in the college, and then we can kind of go from there. A big thing that we just want to address is myth busting. So education abroad can keep you on track for graduation. As I mentioned, as an academic advisor, I can definitely attest to this. There are programs that are less expensive, as expensive and more expensive than CSU. So if finances are a priority for you with your education abroad experience, just make sure that you let myself or one of the education abroad coordinators that you might be working with, let them know that that's a top priority for you so that we can make sure to include that when recommending programs for you. You can fulfill course requirements abroad. So a lot of times I have business students that do 100% of their business coursework abroad. They might be limited more with where they can go depending on the courses that they still need to take, but just know that it doesn't have to be just a free elective semester that you're doing while you're abroad. And then we do have a risk management team that supports students while abroad. This has obviously gotten much more helpful with COVID in our air, but just know that CSU is making sure that you're not only going on academically good fit programs, but we also want you to be on healthy and safe programs as well. This is going to give you a little bit of a snapshot for the top destinations for business students that are doing a semester abroad. So our #1 destination is the Czech Republic. We have a program there called CESP Prague. It's going to be one of the programs I highlight. This program is more affordable than a CSU in-state student tuition at CSU, and so that is one of the #1 reasons that students love to go to Prague, is that it's more affordable than being here on campus. Other top destinations that we send students for a semester include Spain, Italy, semester at sea, and Germany. So we are pretty Eurocentric within the college. We do have students that go outside of the college, or outside of Europe, and I will highlight some of those programs as well, just to kind of give you an idea that Europe is not your only possible destination for an education abroad experience. When we look at the different concentrations in the college, so we are a college of 9 primary concentrations and the 1 secondary of international business. We solely pull this data based off of your primary concentration, and so you will see that of all the students that we send abroad, 1 in 3 of those are marketing students. Marketing is incredibly easy and it flows very well with an education abroad experience. So if you are a marketing student, there's a great chance that there are quite a few different programs that would be a good fit for you academically. You will also see that our next two concentrations are going to be organization, innovation, management, and then finance. It is possible to study abroad if you are one of the other concentrations. Just know that we definitely want to capture you sooner rather than later so that we can academically plan, as some of those concentrations are a little bit more difficult to take the concentration coursework abroad, but it's very doable for us to get you to take your College of Business core coursework abroad. So two of my biggest examples for that are going to be accounting coursework and financial planning coursework. Really needs to be taken here at CSU. And so we'd really want to focus on your College of Business core classes and your free electives if you are in one of those concentrations or if you are leaning to declare one of those concentrations. We are working on building out our recommended programs list. Right now, we only have OIM, marketing, finance, and the business minor on this list. However, coming soon will be CIS, supply chain management, human resource management, and international business if you have international business as a secondary concentration. The first program that I kind of want to highlight is going to be one of our exchanges. So we have 4 exchanges down in Australia. The number one that really works great for business students is going to be Macquarie University. This is in North Ryder, that's just north of the city of Sydney. So on the screen, you'll see a nice photo of the Sydney Opera House. And so students are able to come into Sydney via public transportation from the campus. What I really like about the Macquarie University Exchange is that you are on a university campus. It is green, just like CSU. There are a lot of similarities between their campus and ours. You can really get invested into student life there, really get to take classes with local Australian students or other students that are on exchange, possibly from the US, possibly from European countries, possibly from Asian countries. And so you really can have a unique classroom experience. The big thing to note about an exchange is you would continue to pay CSU tuition and fees for that semester that you would be abroad. You would still be receiving transfer credit, so you would need to earn a grade of a C or better in order for it to transfer back to CSU. But this is a really great program if you want to be near the benefits of living in a big city, but that you also want to have yourself integrated a little bit more onto a campus, and you don't want to just leave a classroom on the campus and be right in the middle of a downtown area. So Macquarie is a great university. Also, if you're just interested in Australia, it's in a wonderful location of the country. Your classwork is going to be in English since the host language is English. And there are going to be, lots of different ways for you to kind of get involved in clubs and organizations at the university. The second one, and I already previously mentioned this, but this is going to be our CESP Prague program, which stands for Central Eastern European Studies Program. It is a English taught program that is housed at a university in Prague. And so the rest of the university teaches their coursework in Czech, which is the host language. However, the classes on this program, while there's not a ton of them, they are all offered in English, and there's a lot of great coursework for students that might be finance, marketing, management, international business, whether you're going for the certificate or the concentration. This is a great program. Prague is kind of the heart of the Czech Republic, even if you look at it as a visual, as well as Czech Republic is very well centrally located within Europe. So besides it being our number one program out of the College of Business where we send students, primarily because of the financial affordability of the program, it does work for most students for academics if we plan it accordingly. And then students also have the added benefit if travel is something that you really want to have as a part of your education abroad experience, then Czech Republic's centrally located location in Europe makes we can travel a little bit more doable. And then just one more selling point are actually two, is there are no classes on Fridays, which I know my business students really love that, since once you get into sophomore, junior, and senior standing, your chances of having a Friday class start to dwindle, since our faculty don't like to teach on Fridays. And then the other added bonus of this program is that a student can do a semester-long internship in addition to the 4 courses that they would be taking. And so it's a really great opportunity if you're wanting to see another side of just doing an internship, which hopefully you all want to do an internship at some point, whether it's domestic or international, but also just ingraining you a little bit more into a business and their mission and their ways of practicing and their way of seeing the world and perspectives, to kind of help you more on your journey for full-time employment post-graduation. The third program that I wanted to highlight is going to be Kansai Gaidai University. This is going to be in Hirakawa, which is in the province of Osaka in Japan. This is a really great program for any student that might be interested in Japan, Asian studies, but also international business. They do offer a handful of other business courses while there as well, so it can be a really great opportunity in that sense. It is structured the same as the program that I talked about in Australia, that it's an exchange, so you would continue to pay CSU tuition and fees while you're on this program. There are a lot of great aspects of this, that they would partner you up with a conversation partner if that's something that you're interested in. You would really get to know the other students on the program, since they organize a lot of excursions, cultural activities, happenings and stuff, so that you can really become ingrained with the local university, the students, and the culture. The fourth program that we want to quickly highlight is going to be SRH Heidelberg University. This is also going to be an exchange, so just like the program in Australia and Japan. This one is in the German town of Heidelberg. Sitting on that hilltop is a castle. It's the Heidelberg Castle. It has actually been burned to the ground before and rebuilt. So on their Independence Day, they actually fake set the castle on fire to kind of celebrate and everything. This isn't a great part of Germany. It's in the southwestern area, which is actually more known for their wine. So I know a lot of people think of beer when they might think of Germany because of things like Oktoberfest. But this area is actually really known for their wine vineyards and the different wines that they produce in this area. So if that's something of interest to you with just kind of the business of that aspect, this could be a really great area to be. It is also an area that has castles everywhere, and so you would probably visit lots of those. It's about an hour from Frankfurt, so travel within Europe and within Germany in general is quite easy. You can just hop on a train and go to Frankfurt, and then you can fly out of Frankfurt, which is a massive international hub for flights all around the world, not just within Europe, and so you can get some really great deals that way. It's pretty close to the French border, so it's about only an hour and a half driving from the French border, so you would probably want to, hop on over into France while you are there. One of the great structures of this program is that we typically are used to taking courses throughout an entire semester here at CSU, so you are kind of juggling 5 courses at once. On this program, SRH is structured with a block schedule, and so you only take 1 course at a time for 4 to 5 weeks. You wrap up that course, take the final before you progress on to the next course. So what's really nice about this is when finals roll around, you're not going to be as stressed because you're not worrying about all of the classes and all the information and things that you might have forgotten once you traveled elsewhere. You really only have to focus on one subject matter at a time. This means that sometimes the coursework within each block can be a little bit restricted. So this program is kind of calling out to you as one that you might be interested in. Then you would definitely want to meet up with me sooner rather than later so that we can map those academics, so that we can make sure that there's a course within each block that would really work for you to kind of keep you on track for that graduation plan. This one's also really nice because it's a smaller campus, and so you really do not have to walk far to get from your classes to where you would be staying in their residence hall. And so if you are not a morning person, or if you don't like to walk a ton, you wouldn't have to walk a ton for classes, but you would probably get used to walking throughout Europe in general, as that becomes typically one of your main modes of transportation, which is really nice because then you can indulge a little bit more in different treats and snacks and such. The last program that I'm going to highlight is ISA Bangkok, Thailand, at Mahidol University. So ISA is going to be an affiliate or a provider that CSU works with. They have programs throughout the world, and so you might see ISA in different regions of the world that you might be interested in. But I'm definitely wanting to highlight the Bangkok, Thailand program. This university is on the western side of the city, so it is a little bit of a journey, but you can easily access the downtown areas of Bangkok, the markets, the famous temples, all of that via public transportation. But again, it's really nice that you can kind of have a more secluded campus, some green space. You can become involved in clubs and organizations. You can have nicer housing accommodations out on the outskirt kind of the city, while you still have all the benefits of the city right there at your fingertips, including the 2 airports out of Bangkok. One is international and flies a lot further. The other is also international, but is more focused on Asian flights. But it's a great way for you to be able to travel and go and explore on your weekends. This program is really great because the business school is fully taught in English. Mahidol is kind of known as the Harvard of Thailand, so it's quite prestigious. The students that are from Thailand that are attending this university for their 4 years are very driven, very ambitious. So classroom discussion can be at a very high level. It can be a little bit more academically rigorous of a program, so that's definitely something to kind of keep in mind. But they offer a slew of business coursework, so it pretty much will work for any of the concentrations, even if you're one of those more tough concentrations that needs to focus more on the College of Business core. This is also an incredibly affordable program. Again, a lot of students like the concept of being able to kind of backpack and travel a lot while in Europe. This program allows that ease and access of travel and backpacking, but more through an Asian lens than a European lens. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit more unique and not, a top destination for our students, then I would definitely recommend looking into Mahidol University in Bangkok.
Hey, Nat,
that's going to be
we've got about 2 minutes left, just so you know.
Awesome, perfect. That's going to be the 5 programs that I wanted to highlight. I mentioned this a little bit about earning CSU credit or transfer credits. Majority of our semester programs that you would be going on through the College of Business would be transfer credits. The one exception for that is going to be semester at sea. So just kind of keeping that in mind. So the coursework would still show on your degree when it transfers back here and on your official transcripts, but it would not impact your CSU GPA. You would do a transfer credit form with me. So if you're looking at business coursework abroad, then I will definitely be your key to going through this process and being able to square you away. So if you have any questions ever about the transfer credit form, definitely feel free to set up a meeting with me and we can definitely talk that through. So you will work with typically 3 different overlapping people depending on the type of program that you're wanting to go on. You'll have your education abroad coordinator. They are regionally broken up. You'll have myself, the COB College Global Opportunities Coordinator, and then you would have a program advisor or potentially somebody at the host institution, depending if you are doing an exchange or a provider program. Here are some beautiful faces that will hopefully become very familiar to you as you kind of explore your options. As I mentioned, they are regionally broken up, and so kind of depending on where you decide to go will determine which professional staff member you will work with out of the Education Abroad office in addition to myself. We also have some student workers that we call our peer advisors. We have 3 from a variety of majors here on campus. You can also talk to them about their experience, kind of what made them choose where they went, and they can be a really great resource to also just kind of help you brainstorm and kind of think about all the different options out there for you. Last slide, as we wrap up. Just know that financial aid, 99% of it can go abroad with you. We do have a scholarship, and so we want to just make sure that you know about those scholarship deadlines. And we do have financial aid advisors that primarily work with education abroad students. So next steps are really getting in touch with either myself or an education abroad advisor and, kind of going from there. And then there are definitely other sessions to attend that we hope you will tune into throughout the fair this week. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, everyone. We're at time.